Okay, so I'm just in the process of trying things out here. I am modeling my bottle after this version of Batwoman. And I found a belt. I just chose a red snakeskin belt. And now I want to match the bat to the belt a little, but then make it pop. So what I'm going to do is go back to the snakeskin belt, and I've selected it by doing the magic wand and then inverting the selection. I've already done that. And so now I'm going to move it in to this document. And I want it big like this because I want the red to show through a lot. Then I'm going over here to my layers, and I'm going to and I'm going to do this. So I say label it belt snake skin. Some of my layers aren't labeled, and I'll come back and do that. So now I'm going to right click, and I'm going to create a clipping mask. So there it is. I don't like where it is. Remember, you can move your, there we go. I want it really red so it kind of pops, but I want it to pop even more. So I am going to up the saturation and make this red really, really pop like that. Good. I want my background to look like this background kind of. So it's a combination of, it's very New York, right? With the fire escapes. And then this almost looks like a crinkled paper. So I will label these layers, but not at this moment. I'm going to go back to this background layer, which is just the solid red. And I have found, close this, I have found a fire escape. And I have also found here crumpled paper. So I'm going to start with the crumpled paper. I'm just going to drag it in to this document. I'm going to put it under the red, although I think I'm going to use a gradient because when I go back and look at her background, that looks like a gradient. And I can also show you how to get this effect of having like the ball behind her, like almost a moon or the bat signal, however you would wish. I'm going to zoom. Oops, not on her. I'm going to zoom out so I am on the crumpled paper layer. Let me just label it. And I want the crumple smaller. Now again, because this is just an amorphous type of image, it doesn't matter. If I use distortion, you'll never tell if crumpled paper is distorted. I'm going to zoom it back out. And here's a new effect you can use, which I would generally have taught if we were in the schools earlier, and I may have touched upon it, the burn effect. Because I see over here on hers that there's different shades of red. So I'm just going to burn some of the paper part to give it a more interesting effect when I add the red. Doing it kind of randomly, just I don't want it all burnt. Down here I want some burn. Maybe really strong up here. I see that they have darker colors in the sides there. For the moment I'm keeping mine dead center. I'm not sure in the end what I'll do. And now I'm going to add a gradient because there's more of a gradient than a solid color combined with this crumpled paper look. I'm not trying to make it look exactly like this, but I'm modeling mine. So I'm going to start with the new gradient, which I created, and I did some experimenting, which you don't need to see it all, but I set my own colors. And this is a 3-color gradient. I'm using the center gradient, radial gradient, and I'm coming here and I'm just gonna make a gradient. I'm going to try one more time. couple more times. Okay, I'm going to start with it like this, and then I'm going to try, what does it look like as multiply? That's a good look. Okay, so that's good for a start. I want more dark around the edges, so I can do that a few ways. I can do more burning on the crumbled paper, or I could even try doing the burn right on this gradient layer. You see how that looks pretty nice? But it's kind of getting there. So that would be the next step. So now I'm going to make a basic, this circle light in the sky, kind of a planet looking thing, is right behind her head. And I'm just going to make one really simply, show you a way to do it. I made a new layer, a new blank layer. I called it Circle Skylight because I didn't quite know what that is. It's kind of moon-like, but it's also the same red. And I'm going to go up here to my elliptical marquee tool and make a circle. Like this one's way big off of the canvas. I'm gonna make mine similarly. Probably try to make it a better circle. There we go. That's more circular. And now I'm going to take the paintbrush. I have it set the hardness at 0, and it's a rather large brush. I'm just going to use white, and I'm just going to paint around the edges a little. I can do it all the way around or just a little. Then I'm going to just lower the opacity, and once it's done, remove that. And that's a kind of a nice effect. If I wanted to have a little brighter spot here, I can do that now or later. Good luck. To achieve this effect. Good luck.